Saving money or getting rich isn't a matter of luck. It's pure math. The graph you see on the screen right now, that's not a miracle. It is the direct result of following just 10 simple rules of personal finance. Look, when I started from zero,
Keep the change.
I used to think money was only meant to be spent. But these 10 lessons completely rewired my lifestyle and my mindset. Today, I am entirely stress-free when it comes to money. Whether you're a student or a working professional, these 10 lessons can transform your life over the next 5 years. My name is Luis, and I spend way too much time thinking about money, behavioral psychology, and why smart, hardworking people keep making the same financial mistakes over and over again. If you're someone who feels like you're working harder than ever, but somehow falling further behind, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. I'm not going to waste your time with the standard advice. You've heard skip the latte 1,000 times. That's not what this video is. These are the 10 lessons that genuinely transformed how I think about money. And I'm going to be honest with you. Some of them are going to challenge things you currently believe. That's the point. Let's get into it. Lesson 1. Your income is not your wealth. Here's the thing that took me embarrassingly long to understand. Your salary is not your wealth. Your salary is your raw material. What you do with it is your wealth. According to a 2023 Lending Club report, roughly 62% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And here's the part that broke my brain. That includes about 45% of people earning over $100,000 a year. Let that sink in. 6-figure earners drowning. Why? Because we measure success by the number on the paycheck, not the gap between what comes in and what goes out. Someone making $60,000 who saves $15,000 a year is mathematically wealthier than someone making $180,000 who saves nothing. The second person has a more expensive lifestyle and a nicer looking LinkedIn. The actionable step? Stop tracking your income. Start tracking your gap. Every month, write down one number, what you earned minus what you spent. That number is your real score. Lesson 2. Lifestyle inflation is the silent killer. Now, you might be thinking, okay, Luis, but if I make more, of course I'm going to spend more. That's just how life works. And that right there is the exact thinking that keeps people broke their entire lives. Lifestyle inflation is when your raise of $500 a month somehow disappears into a slightly nicer apartment, a slightly nicer car payment, a few more subscriptions, and dinners at restaurants that have candles on the table instead of ketchup bottles. You're not happier. You're just more expensive. Here's the math that woke me up. If you get a $10,000 raise and you invest it instead of absorbing it into your lifestyle at a conservative 8% return over 30 years, that single raise becomes roughly $1.13 million. One raise, $1 million. Or a nicer SUV and slightly fancier groceries for 3 decades. The rule I follow now, every raise gets split. 50% goes to lifestyle, 50% goes to future me. Future me deserves a vote too. Lesson 3. Debt isn't all the same, and treating it like it is will ruin you. This one is going to ruffle some feathers. There's a huge online crowd that screams all debt is bad and pay off everything before you invest. And look, I get the emotional appeal, but it's mathematically wrong. Here's what most people don't realize. Debt is a tool, and tools are neutral. A hammer can build a house or break a window. Same hammer. A credit card at 24% APR? That's financial cancer. Get rid of it immediately. But a mortgage at 4% on an appreciating asset? A federal student loan at 5% for a degree that doubles your earning potential? Those are leverage. The rule I use: if the interest rate on the debt is higher than what I can reasonably earn investing, generally above 7 or 8%, kill it aggressively. Anything below that, pay the minimum and put the difference into assets that grow. Your future self will thank you. Lesson 4. The emergency fund is not about money. It's about options. This is where it gets really interesting. When I first heard about emergency funds, I thought, that's just money sitting there doing nothing. Why wouldn't I invest it? Then my car's transmission died. Then, a few years later, I got laid off with 2 weeks of severance. And I realized something nobody ever told me. An emergency fund isn't a financial product. It's a psychological one. According to the Federal Reserve's most recent household survey, about 37% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency without borrowing. $370 away from a crisis? That's not a money problem. That's a freedom problem. Because here's the truth. When you have 3 to 6 months of expenses sitting in a high-yield savings account, you don't take the toxic job. You don't stay in the bad apartment. You don't say yes to the client who treats you like garbage. The emergency fund doesn't earn you the highest return on paper. It earns you the ability to say no. And the ability to say no is the most underrated financial asset on earth. Lesson 5. Compound interest is boring. Until it isn't. I know everyone talks about compound interest. Einstein, the eighth wonder of the world, blah, blah, blah. But I want to show you something that genuinely changed my life. Think of 2 people. Julio starts investing at age 22. She puts in $300 a month for 10 years and then stops completely. She never invests another dollar. Total contribution? $36,000. Then there's Mike. Mike waits until he's 32 to start. He invests $300 a month every month until he's 65. Total contribution? $118,800. At an 8% average return, who has more at retirement? Julio. By a lot. Sarah ends up with roughly $560,000. Mike ends up with about $450,000. Sarah invested a third of what Mike invested and still beat him by over $100,000. Why? Because she gave her money more time to compound on itself. Here's the lesson. The single most important variable in investing is not how much you invest. It's how early you start. If you're 22 watching this, the most powerful financial move you can make is opening a Roth IRA today. Not next month. Today. Lesson 6. You cannot budget your way out of an income problem. Now, you might be thinking, Luis, I'm trying. I'm cutting expenses. I'm doing the spreadsheets. Why isn't this working? Here's the uncomfortable truth I had to learn. There is a limit to how much you can cut. Rent, food, transportation, and insurance. These have minimums, but there is no ceiling on how much you can earn. I've watched people spend years agonizing over saving $40 a month by canceling streaming services, when they could have spent that same energy negotiating a $15,000 raise or starting a side income stream that brings in $1,000 a month. According to ADP, the average employee who stays at their job longer than 2 years earns about 50% less over their lifetime compared to those who strategically switch roles. 50%. Your loyalty is being priced in, and it's being priced cheaply. But spend the majority of your energy on the income side of the equation. That's where the real game is played. Lesson 7. The psychology of money matters more than the math. Here's what most people don't realize.
Personal finance is only about 20% math. The other 80% is psychology, identity, and the stories you tell yourself about money. If you grew up in a household where money was a constant source of fights, anxiety, or shame, you carry that. If your parents were savers who never enjoyed life, you might be a spender rebelling against that. If your parents were spenders who always ran out, you might be a saver who can't let yourself buy anything. Money is never just money. It's love, control, safety, freedom, identity, fear, all wearing a $sign costume. The actionable step? Ask yourself one question. What did money mean in my house growing up? Write down the answer. Because until you understand the script you inherited, you'll keep performing it. And no spreadsheet on earth can override an unexamined belief. Lesson 8. Comparison is the fastest way to go broke. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I had a friend. We'll call him Jay. And Jay had what looked like the dream life. New Tesla, apartment in a nice high-rise, designer everything. Vacations he was always posting about. I remember sitting at dinner with him one night, feeling that low-key envy that we all pretend we don't feel. And then, casually, he mentioned he was applying for another credit card because he was shuffling some balances around. That guy was drowning. Drowning in a beautiful, well-lit, Instagram-filtered pool. And from the outside, I was comparing my real financial life to his performance. Here's the thing about social media and lifestyle comparison. You are comparing your behind the scenes to everyone else's highlight reel. Their leased car looks like wealth. Their financed watch looks like a success. Their vacation looks like freedom. You have no idea what's actually in their bank account. And statistically, it's probably less than yours. The actionable step? Curate your feed ruthlessly. Unfollow anyone who makes you feel like your real life isn't enough. Your peace of mind is worth more than any influencer's content. Lesson 9. Invest in boring, chase boring, worship boring. This is the lesson that protects you from yourself. Everyone wants the home run. The crypto that 50x's, the meme stock, the hot tip from your cousin's coworker. And here's the data. According to S&P Global's Spiver report, over 20 years, approximately 90% of actively managed mutual funds underperform a simple S&P 500 index fund. These are professionals with Bloomberg terminals and Harvard MBAs. 90% lose to a boring index. What chance do you and I have of day trading on our phones during lunch breaks? Roughly zero. The boring path? Low-cost index funds, automated contributions, time in the market, and the discipline to do absolutely nothing when the news is screaming. That's it. That is the whole strategy. It will feel boring. It will feel like you're missing out. And it will quietly, steadily make you wealthy over 20 or 30 years. Boring is the price of admission. Pay it. Lesson 10. Time is the only currency that matters. This is the lesson I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders and shaken into me at 22. The real reason we pursue money is not money. It's time. It's the freedom to spend a Tuesday afternoon with your kid without checking your email. It's the freedom to take a year off when your parent gets sick. It's the freedom to leave a job that's killing your soul without panicking about rent. Every single dollar you save and invest is essentially a deposit into your future freedom account. You're buying back hours of your life from a future you that would otherwise have to keep selling them. When you start seeing money this way, everything changes.
That $400 impulse purchase? That's not $400. That's 6 hours of work today. And it's also the compound future value, roughly $4,000 in 30 years, of freedom you just traded away for something you'll forget about by next week. Money is time. Treat it like time. Spend it like time. Guard it like time.
Look, I'm going to be straight with you. Nobody is coming to save you financially. Not the government, not your employer, not a windfall, not a lottery ticket. The cavalry is not on its way. But here's the beautiful, frustrating, freeing truth. You don't need them to. Everything I just shared with you, you can start applying tomorrow morning. Open the Roth, automate the transfer, track the gap. Ask yourself what money meant in your house growing up. Unfollow the people draining your peace. Start the conversation about that raise. You don't need to do all 10 today. Pick one, just one, and actually do it this week. Because the difference between people who transform their finances and people who keep watching videos like this one forever is a single, small, boring action repeated consistently.
If this video helped you, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss the next one, and drop a comment telling me which lesson hit hardest for you. I read them all.
That is incredible.
I'll see you in the next video.
We just
Take
made a
care of the
fortune.
future you.